The movie begins many years ago at a king's palace. The king's mother orders her advisor to take the newborn into the forest and ensure it doesn't survive. The advisor protests, saying the baby was just born, but the king's mother insists he do as she says and keep it a secret from everyone, even the king. Forced by her command, the advisor takes the baby to the forest, but instead of taking his life, he puts it in a basket and sets it adrift on the river. The basket floats downriver and ends up near a gardener's house. Hearing the baby cry, the gardener's wife pulls the basket and baby from the river. She tells her husband that they found 2 boys from this river before, and now they have a girl. She says that with God's blessing, they will raise her too and name her Lena. 12 years later, Lena is now 12 years old. She goes to the same spot by the river near her home to fetch water, the same place where the gardener's wife found her. Her older brother Peter, who is also adopted, comes and tells her they need to prepare a garden bed for flowers. Lena shows him a wooden toy she made. They both go to their house where Peter starts cutting wood and Lena begins preparing the garden bed for flowers. Their third brother Sam is sitting in a tree nearby, playfully aiming his slingshot at them. The gardener and his wife adopted all 3 children from the river and loved them more than their own. The 3 siblings also loved each other very much. Lena often went to play alone by the river. One day, she sees 2 dogs by the river and starts playing with them. These dogs belong to King Alexander, who is sitting sadly nearby. Seeing Lena reminds him of his deceased wife, whom he first met by this same river. Lena approaches King Alexander and seeing a wooden toy in his hands, asks curiously if he made it. The king says, "No, my wife made it, but she's no longer alive." Lena says she can make wooden toys like that too. She then makes a wooden horse and gives it to the king before returning home. At home, her parents serve food to all the siblings. Meanwhile, the king returns to his palace. As his advisor serves him and his mother food, the king mentions meeting a girl who makes wooden toys just like his wife Helena and even talked like her. His mother is shocked and asks where he met the girl. The king replies, "By the river." Immediately, the king's mother gets into a carriage with the advisor without telling the king and sets out to find the girl. After a short ride along the river, their carriage stops in front of the gardener's house. She peeks out and sees the gardener's family, including the 3 children. The king's mother is startled by what she sees. She returns to the palace and asks the advisor privately what he did with the children. The advisor confesses that instead of doing what she asked, he placed the children in a basket and let the river take them. The king's mother gets angry, saying his mistake resulted in those children being alive. She worries that if the king finds out, all her plans will be ruined. The advisor asks what she wants to do now. The king's mother declares the children must meet their end, but this time she'll do it her way. The next day, Lena is alone outside her house feeding ducks. The king's mother, dressed as a village woman, sits near Lena's house and pretends to be in pain. Lena, hearing her, goes to help. The king's mother says she's from a faraway village and is tired. Lena, being kind-hearted, doesn't realize she's lying and begins massaging her feet. During this, the king's mother cunningly asks if Lena has lived there since childhood. Lena says yes. Her mother adopted her from the river. The king's mother asks about her 2 brothers. Lena says her mother found them in the river too. The king's mother then asks if Lena ever wondered about her real parents. Lena replies no, because the parents who raised them loved them so much that they never felt the need to know. The king's mother then says that if Lena and her brothers ever want to know about their real parents, a wise bird living on Magic Mountain can tell them everything. Lena says that's quite far, and she wouldn't know where to find the wise bird on such a big mountain. The old woman explains that on that mountain there is a tree with golden leaves and a magical waterfall. If Lena offers these 2 things as a gift to the wise bird, it will answer all her questions. After this, the king's mother leaves. She actually wants to get rid of Lena and her brothers, which is why she tricked Lena into going to Magic Mountain, as the mysterious mountain is full of dangers. That night, she tells her brothers about the wise bird on Magic Mountain that can tell them about their real parents. Her older brother Peter and younger brother Sam tell her that if their real parents cared about them, they wouldn't have thrown them into the river after birth, and tell her to go to sleep. The next morning, as Lena eats with her parents and brothers, Peter announces he's going to the forest to get wood and will be some time. He then leaves the house. Lena goes outside to him and asks if he's going to Magic Mountain. Peter says yes, but tells her not to tell anyone and that he'll be back by evening. Lena reminds him not to forget to take the magical waterfall water and the golden tree fruit from the mountain for the wise bird. Peter agrees and then sets off. He walks for a long time through the forest and finally reaches Magic Mountain. There's a cave-like entrance to the mountain. In front of the entrance is an invisible magical wall. Peter passes through it and enters an open field where he sees the tree with golden fruit. As Peter approaches the tree, a cat sitting on a stone tries to tell him something with gestures, but Peter ignores it and shoos it away. He then climbs the tree to pick the golden fruit. However, The fruit is on the highest branch, and as Peter tries to climb higher, his hand slips and he falls from the tree. Surprisingly, as soon as he falls, he turns into stone. Meanwhile, his siblings are waiting for him at home. But when Peter doesn't return by night, his parents become worried. Lena and her younger brother are also distressed by Peter's absence. So Lena tells her parents the truth. Peter went to Magic Mountain to the wise bird to ask about their real parents. The gardener and his wife are shocked and ask if they didn't know that whoever goes there never returns, and why they didn't ask them first. Lena apologizes. The gardener tells Lena to stay with her mother and that he and Sam will go look for Peter. After this, the gardener and Sam set out to find Peter that very night. They walk until morning and reach the entrance of Magic Mountain. The gardener tells Sam to wait there and starts to enter the mountain through the doorway. However, because of the invisible wall at the entrance, he cannot go inside. Surprisingly, Sam passes through the invisible magical wall. His father is very surprised by this and tries with all his might to pass through the invisible wall, but each time the wall pushes him back. Meanwhile, Sam reaches the field on the other side where the golden fruit tree is. He goes near the tree, and the cat sitting on the stone Peter turned into also tries to tell him something, but Sam also ignores it and shoos it away. After that, he uses his slingshot to pluck the golden fruit and moves on from there. After walking a short distance, he also sees the mountain with the magical waterfall. A hawk is circling there, and it also tries to tell Sam something with gestures. But Sam scolds it and starts climbing the mountain to get the magical water. The mountain is very high. During this, as Sam reaches half the height, his foot slips and he falls down. As soon as he falls, he also turns into stone. On the other hand, the king goes to Lena's house to meet her, but no one is there because Lena and her mother have already come to Magic Mountain looking for Peter. Here they find the gardener, who is sitting near the cave entrance. Disappointed because he couldn't get inside, he tells his wife and Lena that there is an invisible magical wall at the entrance to the mountain, which prevented him from going inside. But Sam went inside. He wonders what state both of them are in. Hearing this, Lena tries to pass through the invisible wall. Surprisingly, she also passes to the other side of the wall. There she also goes near the golden tree, and the cat comes to her too. Instead of shooing it away, Lena caresses it and asks if it has seen two boys, who are her brothers. The cat points towards the stone. Lena understands that Peter has turned into stone. But Lena couldn't climb the tree, so she asks the cat to help her pick the golden fruit. The cat climbs the tree and brings her the golden fruit. Lena caresses it and moves on from there. She walks and reaches the magical waterfall. However, the waterfall is on a high mountain where a hawk is circling. Lena lovingly calls it to her and asks if it has seen any boy here. The hawk sits on the stone that Sam turned into. Now Lena understands that her second brother has also turned into stone here. So she asks the hawk to bring her the water from the waterfall, saying that if she falls from above, she will also turn into stone. The hawk agrees and brings her the magical water in her bottle from above. Lena thanks it and moves on from there. In the next scene, King Alexander is shown in the palace, where his mother tells him that the neighboring king wants him to marry his daughter, and he should start preparations. The king says it's been 12 years since his wife died, and he still loves her. He asks why she thinks he would marry again now, when he hasn't in all these years. His mother says he shouldn't ruin the rest of his life grieving his first wife who is gone, and should think about his lineage. Hearing this, the king gets angry with his mother and says she never accepted his wife as her daughter-in-law because she was a farmer's daughter, and now she's worried about him. He declares he won't marry anyone. Meanwhile, Lena, who is still on Magic Mountain, reaches a tree with many birds sitting on it. She asks the birds which of them is the wise bird. All the birds claim to be the wise bird. Hearing this, Lena gets confused and tells them that the wise bird always tells the truth, and since they are all claiming to be the wise bird, it means they are all lying, so none of them can be the wise bird. Then she sees a single bird sitting on a nearby tree. Lena asks it if it is the wise bird. The bird says yes. Lena then gives it the golden tree fruit and the magical waterfall water as gifts. Now Lena asks how her two brothers, who turned into stone, can be made human again. The wise bird says that the magical water from the waterfall in her bottle, when sprinkled on the stone, can turn them back into humans. Hearing this, Lena quickly takes the bottle filled with magical water and goes to the waterfall mountain. There, she sprinkles the magic water on the stone indicated by the hawk, which turns Sam back into a human. After this, both of them go with the bird to the golden tree. There, Lena sprinkles water on the stone indicated by the cat, which also turns Peter back into a human. Peter tells his sister that she finally did it. Then the three siblings ask the wise bird who their real parents are. After thinking for a while, the bird tells them that their real parents are King Alexander and his wife. Lena then asks why they threw them away at birth. The The wise bird says their grandmother, not their parents, had them thrown away. Her plan was to unalive them. Hearing this, all three are very surprised and ask the bird why she did such a terrible thing. The bird explains that King Alexander fell in love with a farmer's daughter, their mother. They loved each other very much, and the king married their mother against her will. Their grandmother was very angry about this because she wanted the king to marry a princess. So to get rid of their mother, she made a plan. As soon as the children were born, their grandmother told her man to take them to the forest and unalive them. She never let the king and queen know that any of them survived. Each time she told the king and queen that the children died at birth, which made the queen very sad. Hearing this, Lena asks if her mother died from this sadness. The bird says no, she's not dead, she's alive. Hearing this, Lena tells the bird that the king told her the queen died. The bird says he said that because he also doesn't know the queen is alive. The king's mother showed him a mutilated body and told him the queen was dead. After learning all this, Lena and her brothers start to leave to tell the king the truth. The bird says she hasn't finished and they still need to know another secret. But the three of them, in a hurry, leave the mountain through the wall without hearing the bird's complete story. The gardener and his wife are waiting outside for the children, and both are happy to see the children safe and sound. Lena tells her parents that the wise bird told them that King Alexander and the queen are their real parents, and that the queen is still alive. She says they need to tell the king this as soon as possible. The gardener and his wife agree with the children. Meanwhile, in the palace, the king's mother is still insistent on the king marrying again, but the king refuses her again. On the other hand, the gardener and his family set out for the palace in a horse-drawn carriage. Soon after, they all reach King Alexander's palace. The gardener and his wife wait outside while the three children go inside the palace. The advisor sees the three children and apologizes to them, saying he is guilty. Then he takes the children to the king. Seeing the three of them in the palace, the king's mother panics and asks who allowed these poor people inside the palace. But the king interrupts her and asks Lena what's wrong. Lena says they are his children. The old woman says these children are lying. Lena says the wise bird of Magic Mountain told them the truth. She says his mother sent them to Magic Mountain again to kill them, but they all survived again. Hearing this, the king gets angry with his mother and tells her that even a witch attacks from outside the house, and he never expected her to fall so low. Then Lena also tells the king that the bird said the queen is still alive. Hearing this, the king asks his mother where his wife is. His mother says that to get his wife out of the way, she told her she was cursed, which is why her children die at birth. She told her if she brought a golden flower and magical fruit from Magic Mountain, her curse would be gone. She says her plan worked, and she went to Magic Mountain and never returned. The king then says that's why she showed him a mutilated body to convince him that the queen was dead. He trusted her blindly, and that was his mistake. Back in this, the king orders his soldiers to put his mother in jail. Then he goes with the children to the wise bird sitting near the golden tree. The king asks where his wife is. The bird sits on a stone and tells him that is the queen. Now Lena also sprinkles magical water on that stone, which turns the queen back into a human. The king is very happy to get his queen back and says that for 12 years his heart told him he would definitely find her. Now the king introduces her to their children. Here, all the children, the king, and the queen go to the gardener's house. The kids just ran up and hugged them like nothing else mattered. The king and queen also thank the gardener and his wife, saying they can never repay the kindness they showed by raising their children. Therefore, from now on, they will have to live with them in the palace. At the request of the king and the children, the gardener and his wife agree. After this, they all sat down, grabbed a drink, made a toast, then partied like a real family. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.